Welcome. My name is Noji Ratzlaff, and welcome to the Utah Valley Amateur Radio Club 2020 September meeting. And as some of you already know, that this meeting is a little different than the usual one we have, in which we have, put people to sleep by different presentations and so forth, and odd-numbered announcements and such. In this meeting, we are having our annual elections, and before I turn the time over to Alma, our election year and our election judge, I'm going to just say a couple of things here. First of all, we have a few events coming up, not the least of which is, did you want to say something about that, Wendy? I'll take that as a no. Wendy, I'm going to read her lips. She's saying that there is a swap meet coming up on September 26th, Saturday. It's hard to read your lips from back here. 9 a.m. to noon at the Spanish Fork North Park Pavilion. Wow, thank you very much, Wendy, for that announcement. And also we've got more things happening too. Carl, don't you have something coming up? Yeah, you do. Let me just turn the mic over to you. I can't read your lips. You got that beard and so forth.
Yeah, the 76ers have a ice cream social coming up on September 12th, 1 p.m. at the Leatherby's in Orem. Leatherby's in Orem. We previously had that in Taylorsville, but we're trying to keep it a little closer to home. And it's at 1 p.m. That gives everybody time to have lunch before they have ice cream. So we'll probably have to social distance a bit, like we're kind of getting used to. But other than that, we'll have as many people as they can accommodate. Here it's a pretty good sized venue. So we'll see you there, hopefully.
Clap, clap, clap. Thank you very much, Carl. Appreciate that. Next up, what I'd like to do is also announce that we have some new hams, people who have just recently got their licenses. And so since I'm not sharing this with you on Zoom, I'm just going to read this to you. If I can find it. There it is. So here they are. And the only one I'm missing from this list is James Sprawls, KJ7QYJ. Oh, there it is. Yep. KJ7QIJ. There you go, James Sprawls. Congratulations, James, wherever you are. There you are. Yay. All right. Not to be outdone, there is also other people who are brand new to the ham radio community. We have KJ7PTL, Jeanette Pierce. I'm not going to read all the call signs. They're all starting with KJ7PTL, just add one. So Jeanette Pulse Pearson, Andrew Poley, Katie Benson, Richard Brady, Gary Brown, Gavin Grote. Gavin's here tonight. There you go. And Molly Hatch, Thaddeus Hunter, TJ, Daniel Kelly, Kevin Stewart, Jordan Turner, Weston Turner. All those people that I just read names off, could you please kindly stand so we can recognize you? Yay. Sorry, we couldn't get the camera turned towards you in time. My apologies. Welcome, brethren. Please come on, have a seat there. Don't fall asleep with the high priest back in the back. We also have people who have recently upgraded their licenses. And so here are the following. We have Chris Beauchesne, General, Jody Kale, General, Thor Call, General, Giovanni Guzman, General, Richard Lowe, General, Ogden Mills, General, Dale Parkinson, General, Rick Sedgberg, General, and Joe Grant, both General and Extra. And I understand there are some others that recently, like today or yesterday, passed as well, and I didn't get those names so in time. Anyway, if anybody of you who are part of that group is here, could you please stand? Crickets. Oh, there we go. Yay, congratulations. Welcome to the group. All right, very good. Is there anything else I should say, Wendy? How about Karen? Anything I should say? I guess that's about it, right? And I guess the other things that are forthcoming, we'll have to wait to the end of this meeting. Yeah, there are more plans in the works to do things happening this year. Unfortunately, because as you know, this year is a little different than most years. We've had to cancel a few things and juggle a few others. And so towards the end of this year, we are still juggling a few things that we have been used to doing. And so rather than announce their success or demise, I'm just going to kind of table it until next time or by Facebook. Anyway, thanks everybody. So without any further wordage from me, I'm going to turn the time now over to our election judge, Alma. Sorry, after John. Oh, by the way, let me just say before John takes the floor here, this young man has been instrumental in getting this wonderful room. I mean, it's so large that I can hardly, even see what's on that wall and on this wall at the same time. I mean, you can, is that the smoke from California? Okay. I mean, you can't throw a football that far. It's a very nice place. We so appreciate John to set this place up. He comes in here and he wipes everything down. He gets all the chairs put out. And when I get here, it's all like really nice. And he says, it only took 5 minutes. Yeah, right. Anyway, and John works for the Central Utah Water Conservancy District. And because of that, he's in charge of this place getting set up and everything for the public. And I guess we're kind of like the public, except we're a nonprofit, and he likes us for that reason. So John, thank you very much.
Well, welcome to Central Utah Water. We built this room for this purpose, for community meetings and different things, and we use it as well internally within the district. A couple of quick items for those of you that are attending personally here. If we have to evacuate the building, our muster point, our gathering point is at the far. We go out that door that you came in, and we meet at the far corner of the parking lot. Is where we gather up. Also, there's bathrooms where you came in. There's also bathrooms behind me at the far end of the hall if you need to use bathrooms. Other than that, that's about it. And let's all have fun. So back to who? Alma.
All right, so this year's presidency was kind of an aborted effort with everything that went on. But to begin with, I'd like to thank Noji Ratzlaff as our president, Chad Butters as our vice president, Karen Alicorn as our secretary treasurer, Wendy Shoup as activities and publicity coordinator, and Trevor Holyoke as our technology specialist. If we could all give them a round of applause. Karen, do you always wear sunglasses inside?
No, but I can't see the board if I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. This year, nobody's running except for those who are currently in presidency. So to make this really easy tonight, everybody who would like to continue the presidency as is, raise your hand. Sorry, Chad. And for those who oppose, go ahead and raise your hand. All right. As far as I can tell, presidency will remain as is for the next year. Thank you very much.
Alma just said he's got the easiest job on the planet. That's because he's never been the second counselor to the Sunday school president. All right. Thank you so much, Alma, for all your effort and the years and hours you spent preparing for this. All right. So I told everybody I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway. And that's just because I didn't want everybody to come together in this and spend all this time driving to this facility or, going through hours trying to set up their their Zoom account and so forth, just to have us send you home after our election. So I've got a little presentation prepared, and so what I'm going to do is, I don't have a PowerPoint. This is going to be, if you want to make a PowerPoint out of this, you know, you're more than welcome. And then after I'm done, then we'll go ahead and proceed with door prizes. And we do have some door prizes. No big surprise, but I think we'll be looking forward to that. So what I'd like to do, and yeah, I should have brought my lapel mic because I got to use both hands. That's okay. You know, John is just the solution guy of everything. He doesn't like to sit down and, okay, while he's back there, all in favor of John being president next year. Building coordinator. Yeah. This is a super place. I mean, we got a kitchen facility that is hard to beat. I mean, we haven't had anything this nice forever. All right, well, John's making his way up here. I just want to say that John and I are not related in any way.
Nor am I paying you to say all those things. Right? Testing one. We have to turn this one off.
Coming through? Okay. That's kind of defeats the purpose.
Hey, Noji,
Sir,
you probably covered this before, but I'm just curious, is this going to be the normal meeting place, or is this kind of a temporary?
it's temporary. It's temporary, but I'm probably going to end up, now that I'm president officially, probably going to get on my knees after this meeting and beg John to make that more permanent. But you know what? It's not a permanent thing because we are his guests. And so we're just going to take advantage of him as much as we can. That's all. And anyway, I certainly appreciate John doing this for us. So the answer is I don't know.
Yes, it's permanent as long as I am employed here.
Can you hear me now? Good question, Clay. Okay. Can people on YouTube and Zoom hear me okay? All right, good. Yeah, I've got a kind of a soft-spoken voice, so I apologize that we've been through this before. All right. Oh, sorry, Clay.
Block him out.
I just see the screen, right? All right. I got to keep.
Block him out.
All right. So one of the things that is apparent to me, especially the last couple of days, I'm a shorts person. I love to wear shorts. I happen to be the very first person ever to climb Mount Everest in shorts. Okay, so I love to wear shorts all year long if I can. Every club meeting, I wear shorts. However, getting from the car to the club meeting place in the snow is sometimes hard on my flip-flops. So sometimes I have to wear pants. But if I could, I would wear shorts. That being said, just let me know, just tell you that this last couple of days have told me that winter is around the corner. I know Doug BBQ has been long waiting for this, but you know what? Summer is my time to shine. All right. Anyway, so because winter is right around the corner for us and we got snow coming up and so forth, one of the things people are always asking me about is how in the world to get your coax connected to your antenna and then seal it away from the elements. Well, it just so happens that I'll show you how to do that today. Most of you in this room, I can tell by looking at you, have already done this, and I'm preaching to the choir, okay? But I know a lot of people are asking still, and they ask me constantly. Now, those of you for whom I have already put an antenna on your roof, I've already done this for you, so you're good to go if it's outside. And if you've done this for yourself, hey, you're good to go because this stuff is pretty good. But I'm going to show you how to do this, how to protect your coax against the elements. The coax itself, can they see this? Yep. The coax itself has got a nice low jacket. Most coaxes that we have today are UV protected and they're good against the elements, both cold and hot. So that's good. However, the problem child comes right here. We got this PL259. If by chance you are using an N connector, which I think, from what I've learned, most people don't even know what that is. Okay, maybe I should have brought one here. But if you're using an N connector, which actually caters to a higher frequency, like even higher than UHF, N connectors are waterproof, and you don't even have to do much to them. But I would wrap them anyway. Okay, but what most people use are PL259s, because most of their radios and antennas have the SO239, which is what's on the other end of this cable right there. So this is an SO239. SO standing for socket, which is from the military, and PL standing for plug. So there you go. And so if this was your antenna part, your plug would go right in there like that, and you'd screw it on, and away you go. But what happens is once you get these together and start, put them up outside, then these are not waterproof. And so what you have is water ingress into the threads of these things, into the joints of the connectors on both ends. And as a result, when you have water getting into those things, at first, maybe it's not so bad because the sun will bake it away, okay? But if you get water that stays in there, what happens is it tends to expand the dielectric just a little bit. There's a foam inside here, okay? And the dielectric, when it expands, it creates an impedance bump. And that means that the impedance on this joint is going to be off. And eventually what will happen is that impedance bump will grow, and that you'll get more and more water ingress in your cable. And after a while, the impedance on this thing is going to be so high that it's unusable. And you'll be going, but nothing has changed. And yet you're telling me I've got a terrible signal? What's with that, okay? Well, we don't want to let water get into our cable. So I'm going to show you how to prevent that. There are several really good things that you can use to wrap your cable with. One of the things that people used to love to do was take this really goopy silicone stuff and then just take it out of the tube, squeeze it into their palm, and then pack it around their connector. I don't recommend that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it will actually eventually degrade because of ultraviolet light. And number two, if you ever want to take that off, it's a big, big mess. You just can't get it off because it's so permanent. Anyway, so I don't recommend it. If you insist on using it, fine. Don't ask me to repair your antenna. But what I do recommend is things like stretch and seal. And stretch and seal is by far not the only one in the market. There are several other really good ones too. I like stretch and seal because you can go down to Ham Depot and pick it up for $7. And for this whole roll, you can wrap like 9 antennas. It's pretty good stuff. Uh-oh, everybody pause while Scott makes it into the room here. Thanks for coming, Scott. Hey.
I found it.
Thanks. I'm glad you did too.
Down with me.
I want to ride my motorcycle.
Well, we could have done it together.
Next week.
All right. Well, so this version of a stretch and seal is a kind of a thin tape, and I like it because it's really easy to use. There's a thicker tape that you can use if you live in Alaska or someplace that's just horrible weather all year round, and so they make that if you need it. But I'm going to show you how to use stretch and seal to wrap your coax. It sounds pretty simple, okay, but there is a trick to this because it's pretty wild stuff. One thing good about silicone tape is that it self-adheres. And once you touch that stuff to itself, you cannot get it apart without ripping it. I mean, the seal is stronger than the tape itself, and you'll end up shredding the tape if you accidentally try to, touch it and get it apart. So I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to try to do this right. So when I take this stretch and seal apart, what I notice here is that as I unroll it, there is a plastic film that's on one side of the stretch and seal, and then on the other side it's just exposed. But it's both, it's all silicone on the stretch and seal side, but it feels very slick. Okay. Now, if I was to take this thin film off, it would still feel slick, but I don't want to touch it. And so I'm going to leave that film on as long as I can, because as soon as I get it off,
I'm going to want to touch it to this thing itself. So I'm going to measure it about, I measure about 10 to 12 inches because that's the liberal side of me coming out, and I enjoy having a lot of tape. You don't want to get too much because then it becomes really unwieldy. You got to take it off and start over, and so I don't know. That's about 10 to 12 inches or something like that. So there you go. Cut that off. Left the film on there. So now I'm going to take this guy and wrap it. Now you might also notice that by doing so, I am creating probably the first perpetual motion machine this room has ever seen. Yeah, RF is just going to go around and around. Hey, details. Okay, Carl just pointed out there's an antenna behind me that I could use, and I could. But I'm not going to do that just because I want everybody to see the whole connector right here. So I've just connected the PL259 onto the SO239, and the SO is probably part of an antenna or something like that. So now that I've got it connected, I'm going to take this guy apart and carefully try to wrap it. But one thing I forgot to do is bring some wipes. So what I always should do is use clean hands. And in fact, the part should also be clean because if it's dirty or has dust or other kinds of things on it, then what's going to happen is it'll just come apart. So you should always, wipe your fingers down, make your fingers clean, make the things clean. And I'm going to assume that we're all nice and clean. So I'm going to take my stretch and seal now. I'm going to start revealing the side here. So it feels very slick, but I'm kind of trying not to touch it as much as I can. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to try to wrap this thing now with the covered side. That means the side that was covered by the film around the connector. And I'm going to try to wrap it as close as I can to the antenna as I could. And the reason for that is because I want to get the smallest amount of water intrusion possible. Now, because this is silicone, what I want to do is, number one, on one hand, stretch this thing just a little bit. If you stretch it too much, this thing could just break. Silicone breaks very easily. So I'm just going to give it a gentle stretch, just around enough to where I'm going to go around here, gradually release some of the film, and there I've contacted the stretch and seal to itself. And once I do, it's bonded just like that. So I'm going to take more of this film off, and I'm going to try to wrap it around in a spiral fashion here, and just try to wind it more and more. And I'm trying to do it tight. You might not see that I'm putting a little pressure on the tape as I'm winding it. And I'm going to wind it way down past the connector onto the coax itself. There, I've gone to the coax. And now that I've gone down to the coax, I'm going to make my way back up to the connector. So it's got kind of a double wrap around it. And if I get any bubbles or any bumps in my tape, it's okay. It's not such a big deal. You don't have to feel like you got to take it off. There we go. I'm going to take all the tape off. And there's the remainder of my stretch and seal. I'm going to take it all the way around, stretching it as I go, all over the tape, all over the connector. And the very last bit, I'm just going to stretch it with my thumb right around. There. Now, this tape is permanently bonded to itself. Water cannot get into this connector at all from any angle. Now, down here, there's I didn't really make a really good connection because I didn't stretch it as tight because I was talking while I was stretching. And I have a hard time chewing gum while I'm walking. So, there I'm just going to try to pinch it off there. There we go. That helps it a little bit. So there you go. Connector, it's nice and protected from the elements. Hope it doesn't rain in here. Question, Wendy, go ahead.
So why did you only go down the coax and not further up towards the antenna?
Oh, I went as far as to the antenna that I could. I just pretended like my antenna stopped right there. That's all. I could have.
You go from coax to coax.
Well, so there is this coax does not exist.
But if you're joining two cables.
Yeah. Well, that's right. If I was joining two cables, like Scott was saying, well, then yes, you're right. Then I would go through both coaxes. Absolutely. So in this case, I'm just pretending like this side's the antenna. That's all. So good question.
What's the advantage of that as opposed to electrical tape?
So electrical tape is always temporary. I do not recommend ever using electrical tape on a temporary basis. On a permanent basis. Yeah, because you can wrap that thing tight and you can do your best. And in my experience, about 30% of the time, it'll stay put. Okay, but usually about 70%, it'll eventually come undone because of weathering, because of the squirrels coming by, whatever, But the electrical tape is just not the best thing for outside. Silicone is made for outdoors and weathering the elements. Gavin?
So you mentioned that the gooey silicone kind of breaks down. Does this break down?
This will not break down.
Amount of time, or is it pretty good to go for?
Well, let's see. This thing says it stays put for a long, long time, and it's guaranteed for. It doesn't say, so forever. I don't know. Yeah, I've had mine on my antennas up for years. Okay, and never had a problem so far. Cross my fingers. So I think they're really good to go for a long time. But yeah, the goopy stuff does kind of break down. It does take a few years for the black goop to wear out, but in fact, sometimes they become a little hard and brittle too, and that depends on the manufacturer. But anyway, good questions. I'm sorry if I'm not repeating all the questions to the studio audience. I hope everybody heard what Gavin and Ben said. But anyway, question, Rob, please.
Yeah, so in the olden days, when they used the goofy stuff, the electrical tape was really handy to first wrap the connector and then put the goop over top of that. That way, when you ever wanted to remove it, it was much easier. But the electrical tape was kind of a nice barrier between the goop and the connector, so you could actually get it all off.
So Rob brought up a really good point. That is, if you wanted to get it off, especially the goop stuff a long time ago, then wrapping electrical tape first and then goop around it was a good idea. Then you can just cut it off really easily. So what I'm going to demonstrate is how to get this tape off of this. So I've had this on for a few years, and maybe I need to get some new coax because maybe the chipmunks have, chewed through my cable. So I want to get this thing off so I can preserve my connector and so forth. So I'm going to find my end, there it is, and I'm going to try to peel it off. And what I'm going to find, what I'm finding is I can't. I just can't take it off because they've actually bonded. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat. That's why I brought the utility knife. So, and that's just to illustrate that this thing is bonding so well to itself, I cannot get it apart reasonably. So I'm just going to take this thing. Hopefully I won't cut my coax.
Or your finger.
Or my finger. But just a little slit in the thing, and once I do, boom, comes right off, just like that. So it comes off cleanly.
That's the
No
other
mess.
advantage over electrical tape. Electrical tape is so gooey and messy that
Especially if it's been on for a long time, yeah. So Chad just said that electrical tape, another disadvantage is that after being left on for a while, it gets really sticky. John?
Can I defend electrical tape?
John wants to defend electrical tape. Please go ahead.
Okay. As a professional, you use electrical tape for protecting like your sealant, protecting this tape and stuff, but use vinyl electrical tape like Super 33 Plus by Scott's. Do not use plastic tape because it breaks down very quickly in the elements. If you use and spend the extra a few cents, buy vinyl
33.
Scott
Yeah.
Super 33 Plus is the big one. It will do much better than cheap dollar store electrical tape.
So you're telling me that the stacks of those rolls of plastic electrical tape I've been getting at Lowe's aren't going to work for me?
You can get Super 33 Plus at Lowe's. So you may.
the Harbor Freight one's no
Harbor
problem.
Freight. You meant Harbor Freight.
So Harbor Freight. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. That's how you put on stretch and seal to seal up your coax, and you can do it yourself. Of course, if you don't want to get up on your roof, just ask and one of us might be able to help you. So there you go. Any more questions about that? Time's up. Thanks. I'll turn the time back over to me. Well, I got to put my chair back. I guess I could do that.
Your shorts have pockets?
Yeah, these are tactical camo.
Choose a pocket.
That's true.
Puts at the end and he doesn't remember which pocket it was in.
That's true. I keep reaching in and find coins here and dollar bills and so forth.
I wish I had that problem.
All right. Okay, the last thing we want to do is door prizes. Let me get to my door prize page here. Pardon me? Oh, I'm sorry, James. Yeah. I'll tell you what, for James's benefit, because he got here late, he didn't know the rule, which was that all the numbers had to be turned in by 6 p.m. However, the thing is, though, that we allowed several others to get in after the 6 p.m. deadline. So you know what? Just because of that, we're going to let you in too. So James, I need a 4-digit number from you between, that means greater than 1,000 and less than 9,000. What will that be? 5555. KJ7 Q. Oops. QIJ. Yeah, he's not here. Well, he
got somebody else who wants to put one in.
tell him he's really early for next month. Yeah, but we'll take it, you know.
Craig Bradford wants 1944,
Oh gosh.
and Steve P wants 2020.
Oh, that one's
Steve, that's a bad number.
Okay, run those numbers again. What was it? 19 what?
1944 for Craig Bradford.
Okay. Craig Bradford. Hey, Craig, good to see you on today.
Nice to see you. Marty, not to set the DeLorean, but
And N7ZZS is 2020.
N7BCS. Who? What's his name?
That's Steve P. And Dave Wood, KJ7OCK, wants 3333.
Not to scare you, but Bad Max.
They're right behind you on there, actually.
oh boy. Yeah.
On the bottom right.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Bring it on.
Dave Wood. Okay. I'm going to assume at this point that the door prize numbers are closed. I mean, we're ready to rock this. Let's see. Turn off this one. Here. All right, there we go. All right, let's do this. Okay, rolling and okay, first of all, the prizes. Forgot the details. Use the silicone. I'm not going to do that to you. Okay.
That's a nice looking knife.
At least give away some stretching steel.
You know, okay, I'll do that. Carl is really free about giving away my own personal, so, but I will do that. I'm happy to do that.
Whoever wins it will probably be taking it.
Oh. Okay, here we go. So we have 3. You know what? Because we're not all in the same room, I guess we can just do this like normal. Just have, first of all, the first three winners get to choose their prizes. Okay, so the first choices are between the signal stick antenna. This is for a Baofeng. Sorry, I don't have one for Yaesu, so it's going to be for a Baofeng. That's the only choice you're going to get. So it's this one, signal stick antenna.
What band is it?
It's a dual band, so it's yeah, and a 1 year ARRL membership and stretch and seal. There you go. So that would be this one, and that's mine. So all right, here we go. Here we go. All right, rolling, and number is 7531 K7VTZ. Tad, are you there? K7VTZ. Yeah, if you're not watching us on Zoom,
Through the list and see if he's on the list over there.
He's not on the list. You gotta scroll down to see the record.
going once, going twice. Okay, that present is gone. Rolling again. It goes to 1512 Chase Palmer, KJ7OXM.
I'm on Zoom. Can you hear me?
Congratulations, Chase. If you can hear me, I think we can hear you a little bit.
I can hear you, but I don't know if can you hear me?
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Excellent. Congratulations, Chase. Now you get a choice between one of these three.
I'll take the signal stick.
You want the signal stick?
Yeah.
Okay, the signal stick is yours. Let me mark that down, or else I will forget. Okay, the next one. Rolling. It is 2020 Steve P. N7BZS. Who is he up there?
He's the one on the right.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, that's
All
great.
right, well, congratulations, Steve. Would you like the stretch and seal or the 1 year ARRL membership?
I'm gonna do the membership. I've got a new ham in my neighborhood, college student, and I know he can't afford the magazine, so we'll let him have it for the year.
Smart guy. Okay, I'm going to give it to you, and then what I'll have you do is email me afterwards, and then there are some instructions that you can follow to get this guy in. So
Okay, sounds
in the
great.
meantime, what's your last name, Steve?
Pabin,
Oh, that's right. Of
P-A-B-I-N.
course. How can I forget? All right. Well, the last person doesn't get any choice. He gets the stretch and seal. Here we go. Here we go. Rolling. Four, 6, 9, 8. Corey Miller, KJ7EFO.
Yep, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, there you are. Good, Corey. Congratulations. You are the owner of some stretch and seal. Let me
Awesome.
mark that down. Let's see. Corey Miller. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. All right. Here we go. Now we're down to the grand prizes. The first one is an actual, official, genuine Baofeng UV82. dual band radio, huh? And it's a dual PTT radio as well. It's got 2 PTTs on it. Just don't hit the wrong one. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very nice radio. I think this one is a 5 watt. Let me see. Oh, and by the way, these radios come fully programmed for you, so you don't have to do the programming yourself. Yep, this one is 5 watts. So, yep. And the programming is all outlined on this little piece of paper. Tells you what frequencies they have, what channels, and so forth. So there you go. Baofeng UV82 and a user's manual in semi-English. I will not interpret. I don't know Chinese. So, yeah. So here we go. Baofeng UV82. There we go. Let's roll and see who gets this one. The number is 5555. James, come on down.
He's got his license today. Now he's got something to play.
I won't shake your hand, but I did wipe down the box. Congratulations, James.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Now for the prize that everybody's been waiting for, except Carl. A genuine Popris dual band open stub J-pole. There's no call sign on it, so it's not signed that way. But you know, if you want it signed by Carl, talk to him afterwards. He'll be glad to write you off. I don't know, but anyway, you talk to him. Anyway, it even smells real. I like it. So anyway, Popper's J-pole. There we go. Rolling.
How many soda cans that could have been?
Yeah. All right, rolling up and down, up and down. 7074. That would be KJ7PYS. Gavin Grow. Hey.
Perfect timing, because I was getting ready to put one on my house, and I'm.
Did you already have one then?
No. No, this is perfect.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Now even have to find his way to my house.
My wife doesn't know. It's gonna work.
Oh, you do that while she's gone.
Yes.
She'll never notice.
Yeah,
She'll never notice.
They don't ever say you get a 12, 20 foot.
For a big dish.
Or the wires going from one corner of the house.
All right, Mr. Vice President, anything else that we need to bring up here? I can't think of anything else. And Madam, one more plug for the swap meet. Yeah, so the swap meet in Spanish Fork then on the 26th of this month. We'd love to see you there. There is a cost to getting into the swap meet because we have to pay for this placement, and it's a huge drain on our budget. So we're charging everybody $5, $5 huge dollars to get into this place, $10 for a family. And if you want a table, it's another $5. So in addition to that, but it's up at Spanish Fork at the North Park Pavilion, which is just next door to Costco. They're right there by the freeway. If you can't find the place, just drive around until you see a bunch of antennas. You know, that's us, or the police station. But we're the ones with the more antennas. Anyway, so swap meet. Bring your stuff. Bring things to share if you like. You know, I've got a bunch of things I want to give away. I've got 4 transceivers I'm actually going to give away for free. They're not brand new, just saying that, but they're good things to have. I've got all kinds of things that I'd like to sell and give away. If you do too, please come to the swap meet, September 26th. Young man, it's 9 a.m. to noon. Thanks for asking that. If you want to set up, we can set up as early as 7:30 a.m. And I don't think they're going to let us have the key earlier than that. So 7:30, we can start setting up. And usually we've got everything torn down by 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we're out of there. All right. Anything else we need to say? Eric. Eric says that that the ham badgers will be there. Thank you, Eric, very much. Anybody else? Anything from our technology specialist? Activities. With a thumbs up, she says, we are good to go. And Wendy just says, thanks for voting me back in. All right. Well, with that, thanks to everybody for coming. We will see you next month. Appreciate it.